Hello everyone and welcome back to the PlayStation Plus collection, the first one of the year, January 2022. We're kicking off with Deep Rock Galactic, which was originally released on PC in 2020, but its release on PS4 and other consoles was when it was released for the PlayStation Plus on the 4th of January 2022. Which means there's going to be no Metacritic score as of yet. The game in itself, if you don't want to get it on the PlayStation Plus, is going to run you back $24.99. And about this game, I've got to say, reading up on it, it did seem quite intriguing. It's a 1 to 4 player, and the best way I can describe it is sort of a mix between No Man's Sky and Minecraft. And either of those games, should I say neither of those games, is a big draw to me, sadly. The game didn't really explain itself very well in as much as what you've got to do. I tried to follow the instructions on screen as best as possible, but I ended up just doing what I did in Minecraft when I used to play that, digging around, and ended up just digging straight down to see what would happen, and it was a whole heap of nothing. Gameplay in itself isn't too bad, but for some reason they've already got motion controls activated on it, and it's just a bit strange because the range of movement on it just isn't wide enough. Gotta say, for the first offering of this month's games, this is a pretty poor one, especially seeing as it had quite a big build-up as a release on the consoles, because it done pretty well so far on the PC. I did get one trophy while I was playing through this, which was the minor trophy, which you literally just had to finish the first mission. There's 8 DLCs for this game, ranging from £6.49 to £24.99, and the majority of them are just costume packs. The £24.99 one just seems to be an amalgam of all the costumes you can get, and it just doesn't really seem worth putting the money into it, unless you're going to play it like it's Minecraft or No Man's, but I honestly don't see many people putting the effort into it. The game, it expects you to go and mine these resources, but it doesn't tell you what the resources look like, and it doesn't really give you an indicator of where you're supposed to go, so it was just pure luck that I actually found the area, which is coming up now. It doesn't tell you what you should be mining, what you should be attacking, so literally I found the resource, the ore, just by hitting the wall, and that was it. But at the same time, it also expects you to collect the ore, but it doesn't give you the collection count in the top right corner until you dispose of it into your weird little buddy that doesn't do anything except for get in your way, which is when you're trying to dig through the walls and get to a new area. One thing I do think is good about this is the fact that it is 1 to 4 players, and that unlike Minecraft and No Man's, it does have levels and objectives. That is probably the most saving point of this game, because if you're playing Minecraft, you're not really going to be playing it for the story, and if you are, you know what you're doing. In this, you don't really. As you can see, I'm just running my way through, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm supposed to be following my little robot helper, but I didn't, because I just figured with this pretty awesome map, gotta say, that is probably the best aspect of the game, the map. I just thought, I'm just going to dig through the wall and get there a hell of a lot faster. Now sadly, this game only gets a 2 out of 5 for me. As I said, it had quite a big build up to the release, and it's just really not lived up to it. So if you've got a team of 4, and you don't mind playing a very slow-paced, slow-moving game, bear in mind I only played the first mission, but I don't think I would play any more beyond this, even if I had a team of 4 players to go with. I just couldn't see myself continuing this, which is a shame. This month's games have been advertised as worth over £109, and it's closer to £135, and I've got to say, I don't know how. Other than the fact that the PlayStation Store doesn't really seem to be dropping any of its what they would consider AAA titles in price, unless you're getting it on a sale, which even then I can't imagine it sells very well. What I can imagine is this being the only time I play Deep Rock. I might consider to continue playing after these reviews though is this Dirt 5, which was originally out on November the 3rd, 2020, with a 79% score from Metacritic and 5.2 user score from 95 votes. This will still set you back $54.99 on the PlayStation Store, and it also has 8 DLCs which range from £1.69 to £28.99, which I honestly couldn't tell you because it wouldn't load properly on the PlayStation Store what they do, besides the £28.99 one being a year 1 update, which surely should come as free because it's just an update and it's not exactly essential to the game. And speaking essential to the game, I would have to say that these are the best aspects of it, and I've only raced on one of the races, and that's the tutorial, which was fun, but the capture didn't work for some reason. These custom made tracks from the community are amazing, astounding, and exceptionally detailed. They are just probably the most fun you're going to have with this game, and the main reason for me to come back and continue playing it is just to challenge people. And you're gonna have to forgive that thud. That's the gamer baby throwing her steering wheel because she thinks she's driving this car, which, you know, the rate it's going, she possibly is. However, if you're wanting to play a game that is actually a bit more of a challenge, I would probably say, if you've got the means, stick to Forza Horizon 5, because that game is astounding. The cars control so much better, and they just seem to be in a lot more control with them. But in my first community created track, there was one part where I was going up a spiral, and you're gonna have to forgive that, but I am the gamer dad for a reason. I don't get very much time, limited time to play these games and record, which is why I'm quite upset with how these games have turned out this month. As I was saying, the car control is pretty awful. I was scraping all the way up a side of a spiral because no matter how gently or how forceful you press the accelerator on this, it just kind of goes or doesn't. There's no middle ground, whereas in Forza Horizon 5 you have quite possibly the best control outside of Grand Theft Auto 5, I've got to say, for acceleration. The handbrake sometimes overreacts, and the normal brake pretty much does absolutely nothing sometimes, so you're just left to ram into the AI if that's what you're playing on the main career mode. But on these fun little obstacle courses, they're fantastic. I played in total 3 of these community made tracks, and the third one that you're going to see in around about now, it's just amazing, the fact that somebody's taken the time to put the effort into doing this. This deserves to be its own brand of game in itself, where you just get to create the courses and upload them and race them. This would make just such a better concept if it had better mechanics for the cars and you could control the camera and everything like that, because I could not change the way that the camera was close to the car, and it was starting to make me feel nauseous, and it gave me a headache beyond the whinging that you can hear in the background. And if I'm the one at fault for that, I just couldn't find the settings, then so be it. But because of that, it's getting a 3 out of 5, and that is purely just because of this community made tracks and the effort that these people are putting in. If I knew who it was that built this track, I would absolutely be hyping them up, because Rainbow Road in a modern day PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game gets everybody excited. As you can hear, she's super excited now she knows it's Rainbow Road. But it's just not enough to qualify the game for that £55 price bracket on the PlayStation Store, when, one, yes, we've got it for free, but how much is this going to run you in CEX? That doesn't really matter right now, because this is the best offering. Persona 5 Strikers, possibly the worst game this month, or just possibly the worst game given to us in quite a while on PlayStation Plus Collection, but I could be very wrong, and only in the minority of people who think that about this game, because it was originally released on February the 19th, 2021 with an 83% score on Metacritic, a 7.8 score from 307 users, and it still sets you back £55 on the PlayStation Store. Now, the reason I don't like this game, and I've played many others like it, and it was actually quite decent, it's purely just because the amount of talking that you've got to go through. That, yes, it's a very story-based, story-heavy game. I don't have that much time to play my game, so this is just one that's personally, for me, on the bad list. I got one trophy while playing it, which was its showtime, which, as you can see here, this isn't even the tutorial. This is the piece that I expected the tutorial to be, to get me ready to play the game, but in about 20 minutes of recording I actually only got to fight all these people maybe twice, and in a total of 5 minutes altogether. Just not for me at all. Anyway, 4.2% of players have platinumed this on the PlayStation, so I'm clearly the only one in this that doesn't like it. It's got 2 DLCs, and one of them, the more expensive one at £8, is just for the music. I've got to give this one a 2 out of 5 personally. Just, I don't like the art style. I do find the sort of story as you're giving your reactions and all of that nonsense, that's quite intriguing. But as somebody who's never played a Persona game before, it just kind of expects you to know everything and who these people are. Yeah, I get it, it's a continuation on from Persona 5, but just no. This is a very niche game, I would say, and the people who are going to own it already have it. I loved Final Fantasy VII. I absolutely adore Shenmue as a game, both of which don't have this large aspect of contributing to the conversations in as much. It's more adventure exploration. Maybe that's just where my folly is here. And I'll be honest, I can't even think of any good points to give it. The only reason that it gets a 2.5, not a 2.5, a 2 out of 5 from me is just the fact that the small bit of entertainment I had from this game was just getting to kick ass with my knockout, what is it? Showtime attack. But the fact that none of the conversations mostly are essential, that you can just skip them, it just really feels like you're wasting your time. 20 minutes I played this, like I said, and I got absolutely nothing accomplished. Maybe if you put more time into it, you're going to get more out of it. But for me, this is a hard pass. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing and commenting. And I'll see you on the next video, which is possibly going to be on this day. Thank you and have a good day.